Love, especially when kept secret, is an intriguing phenomenon that can reveal a lot about the human psyche. Carl Jung, with his approach to the unconscious and archetypes, helps us understand how deep feelings can manifest in subtle, not always obvious ways. When a man loves in secret, he may not express his feelings directly, but his behavior will betray his genuine emotions. Jung believed that a large part of our psyche operates in the unconscious, influencing our actions without us realizing it. In the case of secret love, feelings often emerge through unconscious gestures, prolonged glances, subtle changes in tone of voice, an unconscious leaning of the body toward the person. These signs may seem small, but they are manifestations of something much deeper. A man who loves in secret may struggle to verbalize his feelings out of fear of rejection, insecurity, or even because he himself has not yet fully understood the depth of what he feels. However, his body language will give him away. He may become more attentive, remember seemingly insignificant details about you, or seek to be present in important moments without making a fuss. Jung described a fundamental concept in love: projection. At the beginning of an emotional involvement, we tend to project our own unconscious traits onto the other person. If a man hides his love, it may be a sign that he is dealing with internal aspects he has not yet recognized or fully accepted. Perhaps he sees in you a figure representing his anima, the feminine archetype within the male unconscious, and this may both fascinate and frighten him. When a man secretly loves you, he may project his idealizations onto you, seeing qualities he desires for himself. This can manifest in a certain nervousness when he is around you, a difficulty in acting naturally, as he struggles internally between desire and fear of exposure. Silence is one of the most enigmatic signs of secret love. It may seem contradictory, but sometimes the very fact that a man does not verbalize his feelings is proof that they exist. Love, when true, carries with it a sense of respect and protection. He may fear that confessing his feelings will alter the dynamic of the relationship, or that his vulnerability will not be met with reciprocity. Carl Jung teaches us that repressed feelings do not disappear, but find alternative ways to express themselves. Thus, secret love manifests in acts of care, in genuine concern for your well-being, in the desire to be part of your life discreetly. If a man often makes himself available to help, shows interest in your achievements, and feels saddened by your failures, love may be there, silent but deep. The signs of secret love may be subtle, but for those who know where to look, they become unmistakable. Have you ever noticed these behaviors in someone? Carl Jung teaches us that we all carry a shadow, the part of our psyche where we hide repressed aspects of our personality. In secret love, the shadow may be linked to the fear of rejection, the feeling of not being good enough, or emotional traumas from the past. Many men, especially those taught to suppress their emotions, struggle with the vulnerability that love demands. True love exposes us, making us fragile in front of the other. If a man feels something intense but chooses to hide his feelings, it may be because he fears losing control over his emotions. He might battle internally between the need to express what he feels and the fear of the consequences. Often, this struggle manifests as emotional distance, alternating with gestures of extreme care and affection. Have you ever noticed someone pulling away just when they seem to be getting closer? This is classic behavior of someone who loves but is afraid of being hurt. The instinct for self-preservation takes over, and he retreats into silence or apparent indifference, even though inside, his feelings are in turmoil. Secret love is not only shown in presence, but also in the small sacrifices a person makes without you noticing. A man who secretly loves you may prioritize your well-being over his own, even if discreetly. Perhaps he cancels plans to help you without saying a word. Perhaps he carefully chooses his words to avoid hurting you, even when he has something difficult to say. Or, on an even more subtle level, he might give up his own desire to be with you because he believes it's not the right time or that you deserve something better. Jung said that authentic love does not seek possession, but rather connection and mutual growth. A man who loves in secret may not confess his feelings because he believes his presence wouldn't contribute to your happiness. This may seem contradictory, but true love doesn't always reveal itself selfishly. Sometimes it hides out of love for the other. If there is one undeniable sign of secret love, it is in the eyes. Jung said that the eyes are a bridge to the unconscious, and that is where the truth is revealed. A man who secretly loves you will have a different look when he is with you. It may be a subtle glow, an intensity beyond the ordinary, or a sudden glance away when he realizes he has been looking for too long. The eyes carry raw emotion, unfiltered by reason or fear. Have you ever felt that someone looked at you with something deeper than words could ever express? Often, love does not speak through words, but through the energy a single gaze can hold. Carl Jung introduced the concept of synchronicity, the idea that seemingly unrelated events may actually be connected by a deeper meaning. In the context of secret love, this can manifest in unexpected ways. Have you ever noticed how certain people keep appearing in your life as if the universe insists on crossing your paths? Maybe you run into this person in unlikely places, or they seem to show up precisely when you need them the most. Secret love can operate on this level, creating connections that at first glance seem like coincidences, but are actually reflections of an invisible bond. When a man secretly loves you, he may, without realizing it, seek your presence in subtle ways. He might take routes that increase the chances of a casual encounter, show an inexplicable interest in the same things as you, or even share thoughts and feelings similar to yours, without ever having discussed them with you before. Jung believed that synchronicity was a sign of the collective unconscious at work, a reminder that invisible forces connect people in ways that rational logic cannot explain. So, if you feel a special connection with someone that has never been verbalized, synchronicity might be revealing something that has yet to come to light. Loving in secret doesn't just mean repressing feelings. It often means respecting the other person's time and space. A man who loves but does not declare his love may simply be waiting for the right moment, without forcing a connection. This deep respect can be seen in the way he avoids pressuring you to make decisions, in the patience he shows while waiting for you to notice his presence, and in the care with which he protects your individuality. Unlike possessive or impulsive love, secret love can be a reflection of emotional maturity, one that prioritizes your well-being over the risk of ruining the connection. Perhaps he chooses to remain silent because he senses you're not yet ready to hear it. Or maybe he knows that confessing his feelings could create complications that would affect your relationship in a way he doesn't want. This kind of love requires immense strength because it involves sacrificing the need for expression in the name of something greater. In the end, true love doesn't need grand declarations. It reveals itself in the way someone takes care of you, in the silent presence that is always there when you need it most, in the natural touch that happens effortlessly, in the attention to details that many would overlook. Jung teaches us that genuine feelings cannot be completely repressed. What a man feels, even if he tries to hide it, will always find a way to express itself, through small gestures, daily actions, or the energy he radiates when he is near you. If you suspect that someone secretly loves you, perhaps the most important thing is not to force a confession, but to observe carefully. When love is real, it reveals itself, without the need for words. Jung stated that human beings are a field of opposing forces in constant conflict. In the case of secret love, this dilemma becomes evident. On one side, the desire to express what one feels, to open the heart and fully experience love. On the other, the fear of rejection, change, and loss of control. For many men, especially those who have internalized a more rational and restrained view of emotions, admitting deep love can be terrifying. This is because true love has a transformative power. It demands that we drop our masks and allow ourselves to be vulnerable. A man who secretly loves you may fluctuate between moments of intense closeness and periods of distance. He may show unusual affection at certain times, only to act cold or withdrawn soon after. This paradoxical behavior doesn't indicate a lack of interest, but rather reflects the internal battle he is facing. If you've ever felt that someone was on the verge of saying something important but held back at the last second, or if a person sometimes seems to avoid you for no apparent reason, there's a strong chance that secret love is working behind the scenes. In Jungian thought, the hero archetype represents the journey of personal growth and self-discovery. For a man who loves in secret, his internal struggle can be seen as a call to this journey. He must overcome his own emotional barriers, confront his fears, and learn to accept his own vulnerability. Many men who hide their feelings believe they need to be more before confessing their love. They feel they must reach a certain level of emotional, financial, or personal stability before they deserve the person they love. This reflects the hero archetype, the belief that before the reward, there are challenges to be overcome. This means that often, the silence of secret love does not stem from a lack of feelings, but from the need to become someone better before taking action. He may be waiting to feel stronger, more confident, before finally allowing this love to step out of the shadows. What to do when you notice the signs? If you sense that a man secretly loves you, the big question is, what should you do? The answer depends on how you feel about him. If you also have feelings for this person, you can try to create a safe space where he feels comfortable opening up. Small gestures of encouragement, prolonged eye contact, or questions that invite vulnerability can help him find the courage to express what he feels. However, if you don't feel the same way, the best approach is to act with kindness. Respecting the feelings of someone who loves in secret is essential, as the pain of unrequited love can be intense. In any case, understanding the signs of secret love allows us to see beyond words and recognize that sometimes the deepest feelings are the ones that live in silence. Jung teaches us that the human psyche is composed of deep layers where feelings can exist without necessarily being expressed. Secret love can be one of the most intense because when repressed, it strengthens within the unconscious. Often, it manifests as an inexplicable longing, a restless energy when the loved one is near, or the feeling that something precious is being guarded inside. If a man loves in secret, he may not even admit it to himself, because acknowledging this love could mean facing the need to act, to make a decision he might not be ready for. Silent love is filled with hidden meanings, subliminal messages waiting to be deciphered. From Jung's perspective, the lover archetype is one of the fundamental forces of the human psyche. It represents passion, surrender, and deep connection with another. However, when this archetype has no space to fully manifest, it can transform into a platonic, idealized love, one that lives in the imagination but never materializes in reality. Many men who love in secret nourish an idealized version of the person they love. They create imaginary scenarios, replay conversations, and dream of the moment when they will finally be able to reveal their feelings. This process can be beautiful and poetic, but it can also become a burden, as repressed love requires psychic energy to remain hidden. When the lover archetype is suppressed for too long, it can turn into frustration or a quiet melancholy. A man who loves but does not express it may feel an increasing emptiness, as if he is living a love that will never come to life. This is one of the deepest dilemmas of secret love. How long is it worth keeping it locked inside? There are moments when secret love reaches a breaking point. It could be a significant event, a separation, a moment of vulnerability, or a unique opportunity that brings feelings to the surface. Jung teaches us that what we repress always finds a way to manifest, whether through impulsive actions, emotional slips, or even in dreams. If a man secretly loves you, there is a strong chance that, at some point, he will reveal it in an undeniable way. It could be a gaze that lingers too long, a confession made in a moment of fragility, or even an impulsive gesture of affection that breaks the silence. True love rarely stays hidden forever. Sooner or later, it needs to find a way to be expressed. whether in words, actions, or, in some cases, simply in the act of remaining present, even if it is never spoken aloud. In the end, what truly matters is understanding that love is not just what is said, but also what is felt, lived, and shared, even in the subtlest details. Carl Jung used to say, "What we resist persists," and this is especially true when it comes to deep emotions like love. Secret love can be a transformative force, even when it is never declared. It can drive personal growth, spark reflections on one's own identity, and even shape the way we relate to the world. For a man who loves in secret, this feeling can be both a burden and a gift. A burden because the lack of expression can lead to frustration and doubt. A gift because this love, even unspoken, has the power to illuminate the soul and awaken authentic emotions. If you sense that someone loves you in silence, remember that love is a powerful energy, regardless of whether it is verbalized. Sometimes, the purest form of love isn't found in words, but in the way someone chooses to be present, without expecting anything in return. Jung teaches us that everything we deny within ourselves continues to exist and, in some way, finds a means of expression. Secret love may remain invisible for a long time, but it is never truly ignored. It reveals itself in glances, in coincidences, in silent gestures, and even in the ache of absence. In the end, to love, whether in secret or openly, is always an experience that transforms us. And what truly matters is not whether love was declared, but whether it was lived, even if only in the details, in small gestures, in the moments that silently say everything words cannot. And you? Have you ever noticed signs of secret love around you? If this content resonated with you, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more insights on psychology, self-discovery, and relationships. Also, let me know in the comments, where are you watching this video from? I'd love to see how far this message is reaching.